Hello and welcome to the channel. Toro now has 6 different battery-powered electric snow throwers available. In this video we're going to take a look at each one and I'm going to help you decide which one is the best one for you. So let's get started.
Down in the dirt. Been real bad.
Alright, I'll bring the 2-stage snowblowers in here in a little bit, but let's talk about the batteries and the single stages for a while. First off, let's take a look at the batteries. Toro actually makes a pretty good line of batteries from 2 amp hour all the way up to 10 amp hour at the moment. I only have the 2.5 amp, the 7.5 amp, and the 10 amps myself, but you can get you can get a 2 amp hour battery. You can get the 5 amp hour or 6 amp hour in different configurations of these snowblowers if you want them. I've got enough batteries now that I'm happy with just these 3 sizes. All of the batteries will work in all of the snow throwers that I'm going to show you today, with the exception of the 5 amp hour and smaller batteries won't work by themselves in the 2-stage snow thrower. You can have a 7.5 amp, a 5 amp, and a 2.5 amp all in the 2-stage machines, but you just can't run it on just a 5 amp or smaller battery. Okay, I've had some of these batteries for 5 years now, particularly the 7.5 and the 2.5 amp hour batteries, and I have not had any issues with any of my batteries, and I think I'm up to 14 batteries now. Compared to some of the other brands, just about everybody else who has lots of batteries, the other brands, they've always had 1 or 2 go bad, sometimes within warranty, sometimes out of the warranty. I have not had any problems at all with the Toros. All right, let's start taking a look at the snow throwers. I'm going to talk about the Power Shovel first, then the Power Clears, then the Snowmaster, and then the Power Max series. So the Power Shovel is 12 inches wide, single auger. There's no vanes on the top of it. It throws straight out. So if you're doing a sidewalk or something like that, you just kind of hold it at an angle and it throws the snow off. Otherwise it just throws it straight in front of you. It's a good snow blower for steps. I like it for doing patio decks. And I guess maybe a good way to say this is if you get 2 to 4 inches of snow and you don't want to use a shovel anymore, say you got a 25-foot sidewalk out front and another one in back, or maybe you got a 10 by 20 deck off the back of your house, this is a pretty good choice. It's not real fast. In other words, it's only 12 inches wide, but as fast as you can push it, it will clear. You actually can put a 10 amp hour battery in this thing, but it comes as a bare tool, or it comes with a 2.5 amp hour battery. And that 2.5 amp hour battery is enough so that you can do your sidewalks or do your deck. It doesn't take very long to charge, so you can take a break and get it all done if you want to. If you already have Toro batteries, say a 5 or 6 amp hour, it doesn't add that much weight to these, so go ahead and stick one of those in and you can get a lot longer run times. if you live in a condo where you have to clean up after the snowplow crew, or if you just have a small urban area to clear, it's a good choice. It's not that expensive. Any questions? Leave your questions or comments in the comment section below. All right, so let's move on. Toro makes 3 walk-behind single-stage snow throwers, and no, the cat's not included. But let's start with the original one. The original Power Clear is a single stage machine that uses a scraper bar. The auger impeller does not touch the ground on this. So I'll be honest with you, 2, 4, 6 inches of snow, you can easily push this machine through that. I have cleared a 20 by 60 foot blacktop drive with this, including about an 18-inch snowplow drift out at the end of the driveway, and it does a good job. It throws the snow well, and on a 7.5 hour battery I could easily get that all done. It doesn't work on gravel, doesn't work on grass. Don't even bother to try it because you can't push it through the grass, and you can't, and it'll throw rocks pretty bad if you're trying to do it on gravel. If you hear the cat, he wants to go down the basement, and I'm not going to let him today. He gets all dusty. So it's a good choice if you just have a small area to do. If your driveway has got cement, blacktop, and it's not very big, single car driveway. And if you live here in the Midwest, like I do now, and you don't get a lot of snow all the time, in other words, you get a couple 4 or 5 2-inchers and then maybe a 6-incher or so, it's a good choice. It is a little bit more of a workout than the other ones that I'm going to show you because you have to push it. But if you've ever used a little single stage like this and you're used to using them, you'll like it. It does come with lights on the top. It's real easy to use. Just push the safety button and then pull the little bail there on the handle and off you go. It does have a handle here to adjust the chute, and it works really well. It's notched so it stays in place. It has the normal size Toro snow thrower wheels on it. They've got a little traction tread on them so they'll keep rolling in the snow. With these type of snow throwers where the wheels are just coasting and they're not driven, you can get snow built up on them, but just use your foot to knock them off. That's just one of the things that you have to deal with a single stage snow thrower. I like the build quality on this one. Trying to think, 4 years? Yeah, I've had this one at least 4 years now. I used it up in Wisconsin to do patios and stuff like that when I lived up here. Down here, my brother has about 50 foot of sidewalk along the side of his house, and then about another 25 or 30 foot of sidewalk in front of the house, and then a small deck. And he just loves it. It's perfect for him. He doesn't have to mess with it. When he's done with it, he can either throw it in his garage, or if he wants, and he stores it down in his basement all year. So it works really well for him. You can loosen these knobs up here and fold the handle over, and so it folds up into about 2 foot smaller area than what you see right here. It only holds one battery, but for the power and the size of the area that I recommend that you use this on, you know, a 7.5 hour battery will 7.5 amp hour battery will easily take care of this. So moving on, the next snow thrower Toro came out with last year, and I actually have not had a chance to use this a lot. We only got a couple light snows after I got it last year, but then I really liked it. If you look, it's just a little bit higher than the original one, and say 12 inches. Let me get a tape measure. The intake is 12.5 inches. The intake on this one is about 11.5 inches. So just a little bit higher. This one is power propelled. In other words, it has a rubber paddle here, and the rubber paddle touches the ground when you're using it. So again, this works really well on hard surfaces. Works well on cement, blacktop, cement sidewalks, that type of patio bricks, all that type of stuff. It doesn't scratch patio bricks or decks, but it does pull you along nicely. The one thing I like about this, particularly since it's power propelled, pulls you along, it's really fast. You can clear off a 20 by 60 foot driveway of 4 or 6 inches of snow just pretty much as fast as you can walk. It has plenty of power. I think this machine probably has pretty close to the same amount of power as the 8-horse gas power clear. It wouldn't bog down on me at all when I used it last year. It's just a nice machine. Toro keeps things simple on all of their single stage machines. So on this one, to turn it, you just walk around and turn it where you want to and adjust your chute. Pretty simple. This one does come with lights in it, and they're nice and bright. Real simple to use. Just press the safety button and pull the little safety bail there, and off you go. That safety button does come out of these, so if you got kids that you don't want messing with your snow thrower, you can take that out and put it away. Nice feature about this one, it's got more power, so it's going to use more battery, but it has 2 slots. Again, this one came with one 10 amp hour battery, and of course I got right now I got plenty of 7.5 and 10 amp hour batteries, so I probably will say that I can easily get 45 minutes to an hour runtime on the 2 10 amp hour batteries. This one, the first one that we talked about, I can easily probably get 30 to 45 minutes of runtime on one 7.5 amp hour battery. And that's doing, 2 to 4 inches, that type of stuff. Batteries are you're going to eat up batteries faster if you're trying to do 8 or 10 inches of heavy wet stuff, but you know how that works. This model also, this one that I have here is the residential model. They also make a commercial model of this one. And the biggest difference that on the commercial model is it has a heavy duty rubber paddle down here on the bottom. The gas models are set up that way too. The residential models have this rubber here, and I'll be honest with you, it's going to last you a long time. And when you do have to replace it, it's just like 6 or 8 bolts and put a new one in. The heavy duty one is about 30 or 40% thicker. So if you've got a lot of sidewalk to do, or if you decide that this is something you want to use as if you want to use something like this for commercial work, then buy the one with the heavier duty front paddle. Again, the commercial one is basically the same machine, 2 slots, all that type of stuff. If you're going to use it commercially, you should have a bunch of batteries, depending on how many hours you clear snow with it. I like this one a lot. This one is good for what I talked about. I like this one even better because it's power propelled. It pulls you along. And it does throw snow very well. It'll throw snow 30 or 40 feet. Any comments or questions? Of course, put them in the comments section. All right. The next snow thrower I'm going to show you is new this year. It's not a new snow thrower. Toro just went and put the electric power system on it. So this is a Snowmaster. This is a very controversial but popular machine. Why? Number one, it's a single stage snow thrower, but it looks like a 2-stage. Why is it a single stage? Because it has just a combination impeller auger system here, just like the other single stages that we looked at. It grabs the snow and throws it right out in one single pass. Some people confuse it with a 2-stage, but a 2-stage will, in the back here, have a big fan that throws the snow out. I have used the gas-powered version of this quite a bit, and it took me a little while to get used to it because I did not have any Toro lawnmowers, but once I got used to it, I really liked it. One of the things I like about this is that it uses a scraper bar instead of the auger touching the ground, and it has skid shoes on the side. So you can adjust this to use it on gravel if you want to, or pea gravel or anything like that. It also works really, really well on blacktop and sidewalks and stuff like that. You just leave the skid shoes so that the scraper bar scrapes on the bottom and it cleans very well. Because the auger doesn't touch the ground, it is self-propelled. Look back here, it's got the wheels with traction tires, snow tires on it. They're not very tall, but you don't need tall ones on this particular snow thrower because it's not heavy. It's not as heavy as the 2-stage machines. One of the things I really like about this machine, since it's a single stage and it's driven, is it's fast. If you had got 2, 6, 8 inches of snow, this snow thrower will get rid of the snow a lot faster than most of the other 24-inch 2-stage snow throwers on the market. It just does good. It can handle the wet snow, doesn't clog up. From that standpoint, if you don't want to mess around, you just want to get it done, this is really a good choice to make. All right, let's go into some of the other features on this one. It is more complicated, but it's not more complicated to use. It's still very simple to use. First off, there is room here for 3 batteries. And you can put a 10 amp hour, a 5 amp hour, and a 2.5 amp hour, or you can put 3 7.5 amp hours, or 3 10.5 amp hours. It doesn't care what size batteries are in it. Myself, I'm probably going to use 10 amp hour and 7.5 amp hour batteries in it. You can't take and fold this up to store it in the summertime. In other words, it's like a two-stage machine. The handles stay where they belong. One of the really cool features about this and why it's so fast is the personal pace. This is the same system that's on the lawnmowers. If you own a Toro personal pace lawnmower, you'll absolutely love this because no shifting, no levers, no clutch, none of that stuff. All you do is turn your key on, start your paddles by pulling this up, and then start walking behind it. You don't have to push on this bar or nothing. You just start walking with your hands on it and the machine automatically stays in front of you. Toro's had this system for many, many years and it works very, very well. You don't ever have any problems with it. They have redesigned these handles a little bit so they're nice and big for your gloved hands and they're angled just right for what you want to do. Personal pace only goes in forward. When you want to back up, they have a metal bar here that you just grab a hold of and pull the machine backwards. Another nice feature of the Snowmaster is the quick shoot. Move this back a little bit so you can see. Blue knob on the top controls the latch, so you can move it side to side. Notice it's really, really fast. It has notches in it, so it locks up tight, and then it will get down nice and close to your snow thrower, or all the way open for getting the snow all the way out. I have videos of all the snow throwers that I'm going to show you today. Walk around reviews where I go through every single component on them. And if you're interested in one of these, just go to one of my other videos and see everything there is to know about these machines. This one, I've had really good luck using the gas-powered version. 20 by 60 foot driveway with a 2-foot snowplow drift out at the end. Go around doing the mailbox and about 20 foot of sidewalk. I can easily clear 4 or 6 inches off in 15 minutes. It's that fast. If the snow is a little deeper, well, say 8 inches or 10 inches, it's going to take you a little bit more time, but still it is so much faster than using a 2-stage. This doesn't really work on areas where you get 20 inches at a time. If that's the case, then I would recommend going to a heavy-duty 2-stage snow thrower. Something like the PowerMax HDs here in Toro, or a couple of the other brands. But if you're standing there in Home Depot or someplace like this and trying to decide which snow thrower between this or a 2-stage gas machine, this is the one to go. It's just that much faster. I showed you all the highlights on this. I didn't tell you one of the other features I really like about this machine. Let's get it all. This snow thrower also has automatic steering. So if you want to turn, the wheels, one side will release and help you come around to make your turn. It's you don't have any triggers or anything like that to use this for steering, and in particular, a lot of the other gas-powered 24 inches that you're going to look at, both of the wheels are locked at the same time and they don't release. So when you go to turn, you got to skid the snowblower. But The differential in this one allows you to have traction on both wheels all the time, but when you turn, it releases it unless you turn very easily. Automatic steering is so nice when you get old and cranky like me. All right, let me adjust the pile here a little bit and we'll look at the 2-stage. Oh yeah, as you can see, it's CAT approved. One last thing before I go on to the 2 stages. This comes in 2 different models right at the moment. One model comes with a 10 amp hour battery, and it does not have the wraparound LED light here. If you buy the bare tool, or if you buy the model with the 10 and 5 amp hour batteries in it, there's a nice little wraparound light that fits here on the machine. If you did get one like this one without the light, you can purchase the light off of Toro.com. It's in the parts list, and it plugs right into the bottom of the power unit down there. So if you really have to have a light, you can get one. When I checked here last week, it was about $110 for that. So, but it's a cool little light, and look, if you really need light in the middle of the night to do your work, it'd be worth it. So, all right, moving on to the 2-stage. All right, moving on. Toro makes 2 2-stage cordless snowblowers. They make a 24-inch and the 26-inch. I don't have a 24-inch model, and I don't recommend that you buy one either. Why? I'll go through the differences. The Toro E26 is basically the 26-inch gas-powered Power Max that you're familiar with. It's a really good snowblower. I'm not going to go into all the details here. I have a walk-around video up that you can look at all the details. But one thing nice about the machine is it's the Power Max. In other words, 26 inches, has a nice tall intake chute. It has a 10-inch impeller, and it has the automatic clog system, ACS, which is so it has the ACS or anti-clog system. All right, that's this piece right here. One thing that makes this Toro a really good machine one thing that makes this a really good 2-stage machine for a lot of people is that even though it has a little smaller impeller, most of the ones that you see at Home Depot have a 12-inch impeller. With the anti-clog system, it allows the impeller to stay at a higher RPM. So any excess snow that gets into this, it throws it right back out front again, so it allows your impeller to stay at a nice high RPM. The motor doesn't lug down near as fast. So it actually throws a lot more snow, throws it a lot further than most of the other 2-stage machines you see at Home Depot, especially the cheaper ones. The electric one, they took the gas engine off of it and put this power unit on. And I call it a power unit because it has electric motor and all the controls. It has room for 3 batteries. The 24-inch also has room for 3 batteries. And it has safety keys, so if you got kids, you can keep your keys out of it and not have any issues. But you can put any size battery in here, with the exception that you need at least a 5 amp hour battery or more, or the machine won't start. You can put a 7.5 amp, a 5 amp, and a 2.5 amp in here, and it will run just fine. It just won't run on batteries with less than 5 amp hours. I happen to have 3 10 amp hour batteries, so you know which ones I'm going to use now. But with 7.5 amp hour batteries, it gives you approximately 15-20 minutes runtime off of each battery. Put it in the eco mode, you get a little bit better. If you're doing, 4 or 6 inches or so, that's plenty to clean off your 2-car wide 60-70 foot driveway, get a few sidewalks, get the snowplow drift on the end. The biggest difference, and the reason why I don't recommend the 24-inch is, move this around. This snowblower has the automatic steering in it. So when you want to turn, it turns nice and easily. With the 24-inch, it's a locked axle. So when you want to turn, the wheels stay locked on the axle, so you got to skid the snow thrower. It's a lot more work. Also with this one, it automatically drives both wheels at the same time, and then as soon as you go to turn, one wheel releases. So again, it's a lot easier to use. One other little feature that this one has that the 24-inch doesn't have is heated hand grips. Heated hand grips are nice. Do you have to have them? No, but with the circulation problems that I have nowadays, they're really nice. The biggest thing why I don't recommend the 24-inch is because of the automatic steering. And if you need hand warmers or like hand warmers, this one is the one to get. They both can handle 3 batteries at the same time. I don't know if the power units are the same or not. I haven't really tested the 24-inch. This is a conventional Toro, and like most other 2-stage snow throwers, got one handle for the drive, one handle for the auger impeller, 6 speeds forward, 2 speeds in reverse. It's got the Toro quick shoot. And let me show it to you there. Really fast, and it's notched all over the place, so it locks in place. Doesn't slide around on you like some of the other ones can do. So it's balanced really well, so you can easily push down on it and the front end will come up, but the front end weighs enough that it'll stay on the ground if you get really heavy, hard snow to deal with. Metal chute. Toro put the metal chute on this model a couple, 3 years ago. Not because the poly is bad. In other words, I still like the polys too. The industry wants you to believe that metal is better. Nice thing about the poly is you don't have to worry about rock chips and stuff like that, and over the years having to paint the inside of your chute. The major manufacturers, like Cub Cadet and Aaron's and Toro here, you never have any problems with their metal chutes sticking. A lot of the cheaper brands, especially the Chinese brands, you have a lot of problems with heavy wet snow sticking inside the chute. So that's another thing that this Toro here works really, really well on. It handles slush very, very well. It handles slush as good as the 24 and 26-inch, 28-inch machines that have the big 14-inch impellers in them. So, and it'll throw it. It doesn't throw this quite as far as some of the heavy-duty snow throwers, but you'll still get your snow out there 35, 40, 45 feet, depending on the type of snow that you're doing. So, if you know that you need a 2-stage, in other words, if you get a lot of heavy, deep drifting, if you get a lot of hard-packed snow where you need the weight and the traction to push through it, this is a pretty good machine. I recommend it, here in the Midwest. I see a lot of people all over the country buying it because in general it's a little little less money than the heavy duty models. So I will see it in, you know, Minnesota and Boston and, you know, places like that. And the guys like it. But here in the Midwest, it's a great snowblower. It'll handle anything that I get here in Iowa for sure. Does have a light on it, and single light, high output LED. I'm trying to think what else with this machine. That's pretty much it. Toro puts some, when you get into the 26 inches and bigger, Toro puts some bracing on the handle so they always stay nice and stiff for you. The chute clearing tool that you see everybody out here have, that's back here on the back handle. So it's out of the way for you. You don't have to worry about knocking it off. Is a battery one the best for you? Well, you know, if you got a normal size driveway, it can work for you very easily. The snowblower itself costs about the same amount as the gas engine. With a gas engine, you got to buy fuel, you got to buy a fuel tank, you got to change the oil, got to do engine maintenance to it over the years. You have to worry about problems starting it with bad fuel or stale fuel, stuff like that. With this, all you have to do is, instead of doing all that stuff, is buy batteries. You can buy this with batteries, or you can buy additional batteries for it. Because I have these Toro products and use them all year long, you know, mowing lawns, I get the 30-inch walk behind, string trimmer, leaf blower, probably pick up a hedge trimmer here next spring, that type of stuff. I use the batteries all year long, so it's just like, you know, buying a gas can and buying gas. I'm quite happy with it. So if you just need a battery tool to clear snow, well, then batteries seem like expensive. But if you want to use battery-powered equipment all year long, then it's not such a big deal. All right, any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. If you like this video, please like it. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.